Ubisoft are looking to expand the Division franchise. Not only will there be a new game release in 2023, but also Ubisoft are looking to release a movie and a mobile game, with they're also saying for gameplay they have 5 years worth of planned content. Now we're not going to be covering everything within this video, but we will be going through the Division Heartland, and I will be explaining everything that you need to know about this upcoming game. But before we do get into the video, if you want the latest updates around everything Ubisoft, which does include the Division, then make sure you are following this channel by subscribing and turning on notifications. Every single week we're uploading the latest news and the latest tutorials around Ubisoft titles. So if you do want to stay up to date on everything, make sure you are following the channel. Getting back into the video, The Divisions has been a fairly successful franchise in the past. It delivers some pretty good gameplay, and that's why Ubisoft are taking it to the next level. And they're doing this with The Division's Heartland. Now, just to clear up any confusion, this is not an expansion to The Division 2. A lot of people thought this right at the beginning when it was first revealed. This is a separate game. Of course, it will still tie into the most recent events with the Division overall storyline, as well as it's still going to be delivering a pretty similar gameplay as it is still based on a very similar game, but at the end of the day, it is a standalone release. It will be free to play and will still be a survival action multiplayer shooter, but this time set in a small town, middle America. Now, with everything that we know about this game, we're still on a very limited amount of information. It was revealed back in May of 2021. This was the full announcement, and at that point it did have an expected release date of somewhere between 2021 and 2022. However, since then there have been a number of delays which have pushed this game back further and further. To this day, it still says that it's going to be expected sometime 2022, 2023, but of course, because we're coming towards the end of 2022, yeah, well, it's most likely 2023, unless there's going to be another delay. We did get our first look of gameplay in September of 2022 at Ubisoft Forward. We can see that the game takes place in rural America, and the overall objectives is to protect Silver Creek, which is the main setting. You will need to protect the town from rogue agents and other threats. And even though we did get a somewhat of a gameplay reveal, we still didn't see a whole lot. And the reason I bring this up now is because I want to link it back to that original release date. If they're not really showing too much, in my mind it likely means that they haven't got much to show. So personally, I'm not expecting this to be an early 2023 release date. It will probably be a lot later in the year, and if there is another delay, well, it's a case of where it will go 2023 to 2024. Now, with all of this said, there have still been a few betas and alphas which have been rolled out, and you can sign up for them. The last one, I believe, was in September or October time. Not 100% sure on the day, but it's likely there will be more of these within the future. All you need to do is register, and you can register by going to Ubisoft's website and actually checking out the Division Heartland, where there will be a way in which you can sign up for a newsletter, upcoming news, as well as also be invited to different types of playtesting events. If you do go and get one of these playtesting codes, it is under NDA, so you cannot share the gameplay and you cannot talk about it, but you can play it and actually develop an opinion for yourself. For the gameplay, which has been explained by Ubisoft themselves, they have said this: players will have to fight together in 45-player PvEVP storm operations. While surviving a lethal virus, this will involve the completion of PvE missions, gathering new gear, and prepping for excursion operations. There is also a new threat known as the Vultures, and they will also be present on the battlefield, making combat deadlier than ever. And I'm pretty sure if you've ever played any of the previous Division games, you would think that that sounds pretty much exactly like every other one. This isn't anything unique for the Division Heartland, but I think that in itself is a good sign because the gameplay is fun. So the fact that they're keeping this as its core component is definitely nice to see. The last thing to really talk about this, and the last thing that we 100% know, is that Red Storm is the studio behind the Division Heartland, and Red Storm did actually work on the previous Divisions as well. They did play a part, so Ubisoft has described it as veteran team members to the game franchise. But with this, Ubisoft is still the publisher at the end of the day. They still have the overall say. And that does mean, as it is free to play, and with how Ubisoft have been over the last couple of years with trying to really push a live service game, it means that this probably will be flooded with loads of different microtransactions. But I'm pretty sure if you're familiar with the Ubisoft of today, this is not unfamiliar. Me personally, I haven't got a problem with Ubisoft trying to go down this route as long as they're actually delivering something good. And if their past is anything to say of what's going to happen in the future, it's not looking too good. Ubisoft does not seem to be in a good relationship whenever they do try to produce a live service game. Earlier this year, we did have rumors after the release of Roller Champions, even though that having a 3-year delay, but we heard that Ubisoft was planning to shut it down after its 3rd season. Now, of course, Ubisoft since then have debunked all of these rumors, but it's still not looking great. Roller Champions itself, for how much support it's had over the many years of development, plus the extra 3 years on top with it continuously being delayed, it's still not amazing. It still doesn't have many players sitting there playing it, and it's certainly not the return that Ubisoft were hoping for right at the beginning. And this isn't anything new. The number of failed projects from Ubisoft continues to pile up whilst they keep on trying to reap the rewards from those which are still doing successful, but even those have started to see a bit of a decline. Even the games which are said to be within development and haven't been released yet, such as X-Defiant, it already has a pretty poor reputation before it's even been released. X-Defiant is going to be a free-to-play, fast-paced arena shooter that combines intense gunplay with personalized loadouts and specialized factions. The reason fans are disappointed with this is because there's some controversy about why they've dropped the Tom Clancy's name in front of it, which they normally do for shooters like this. And this poor reputation has come even before Ubisoft announces what type of microtransactions are going to be added and how they're going to monetize all of this, because yet again, it's a free-to-play game, and of course they're going to stack up on as much as possible to really bleed as much money out of their players when the game is officially released. So with all the free-to-play games that Ubisoft have released before, they're not particularly doing amazing, and for those that did have somewhat of a reputation at the beginning, Ubisoft somehow managed to destroy it. And then for those which are yet to release in the future, they're still not starting with a good reputation. There's a lot of questions around it, and of course this really makes things hard for them for when it is finally released to actually encourage players to play. And because I have enjoyed playing The Division for both of them in the past, I've had a lot of great moments playing by myself as well as playing with friends and teaming up with other players. I'm going to be really disappointed to see if this franchise follows in a similar footsteps, where just because it becomes free to play, Ubisoft try to stack as many microtransactions in there as possible, and it completely destroys everything. So far, that's my only real worry about it. I'm not too bothered about the game being delayed because it happens within the gaming industry. It's inevitably going to happen for one of your game titles at some point. And hopefully at the end, once it is delayed, even though it's going to be disappointing at the beginning, I'll get over it. And then once it is released, hopefully it's a good game. But I think that's where Ubisoft have been struggling, is we delay all of these projects only for them not to really be that good once they are released. But with all of this said, this is just my opinion, and I would love to know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. The Division Heartland will be coming to PC, Xbox Series X, S, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. You can, if you're interested in this game and don't want to go off leaks and speculation and actually play this game when it is made available, you can register now. You'll do this by heading over to the Ubisoft website and searching up the Division Heartland. There you'll have to go and input all of your details, but when there is a playtest, which will be a closed playtest, that is when you're able to sign up, and there is a chance that you could be invited to join along, play the game, and submit your own feedback. And it's likely there will be several of these before we actually get the full release of the game, as the expected release date is sometime within 2023, but that is only if there isn't any more delays. But anyway, guys, that is absolutely everything that you need to know about the Division Heartland. If you do have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going to see ya.